So here you have your thigh and leg meat, but we have all of these tendons in here to deal with. So we want to get these out because once this roast is done, these won't tenderize and it'll be very difficult to slice through. So let's just slice along them like you would bone and just release them from the flesh. There's one. When your hands are slippery, it's tough to get them, but again, be sure to be very careful with your knife because it's easy to slip when your hands are wet. There's another. Excellent. So what you can do with this piece of meat here is you can roll it up, season the inside with some salt and pepper, and pull it together and then just roll it and tie it with a little bit of butcher's twine, you know, in a couple of spots just to hold it together. Season the top with some salt and pepper and some paprika, and then rub it in with a little olive oil. What I like to do is I like to put all of my turkey pieces into a pot of salt water. Cold water with about a cup of salt, enough water to cover all the turkey pieces. I like to brine that overnight. It ensures a really, really tender and tasty turkey. I'm going to move this over to the pan. Okay, so here is your completely deboned turkey. We have 2 large breast roasts and 2 dark meat roasts with the leg and thigh. We also have 2 wing tips. All right, so here's my seasoning mix. I have in here just about a tablespoon of paprika, a couple teaspoons of salt, and a teaspoon of pepper. All right, so here's your turkey leg and thigh. Skin is intact. What I'm going to do is I'm going to season the inside with a little salt and pepper, some salt, and a little bit of pepper, and then we're going to roll it. So you just want to take it from the thicker end, roll it up as tight as you can. There you have your roll. Just grab a bit of kitchen twine like this. Some people get really fancy and use a long piece of twine and do the butcher wrap, but I'm not that skilled, so I use a separate piece of twine for each tie. Tie that up. Nice and tight. You want to stretch the skin so that the skin covers as much of the meat as you can because it bastes it in the oven as it roasts. There we go. I'm just going to grab a pair of scissors and just trim off the excess string. Okay, so here's our roast, all rolled and tied, looking pretty nice. I'm going to season the outside with the mixture of paprika, salt, and pepper. Give it a good seasoning. The paprika helps it get a really nice color once it's all roasted. Make sure you get it from all angles. There you go. Now I'm going to take a little olive oil and I'm just going to drizzle a little bit on. Not too much, just enough to help rub in the seasoning. There you go. So here's your roast, ready to go in the oven. Okay, so I've moved my turkey breast to the cutting board and I'm going to prepare it for the oven. You don't have to tie a turkey breast. You can. I mean, you can tie it up like this just to make it a little bit more compact. But, oh, I got a little piece of bone here. Let's cut that off. There we go. Okay, so what I do is I just season it up as it is, pull it together a little bit before I put it into the roast pan, and it does roast nice and compact just as it is. So again, I'm going to season the inside with a little salt and pepper. My pepper's out of reach. There we go. Just flip that around. And then the skin side, I'm going to use the paprika mixture to give that skin its nice color after it's been roasted. And again, be generous with it. Who doesn't like nice, flavorful, crispy skin? Okay, and a little olive oil. Just going to rub that in. And there you have it. Your breast roast ready to go in the pan. Okay, here we have our fully cooked turkey. I roasted it in the oven at 350 degrees until the internal temperature reached 165. Take it out of the oven and tent it with some foil. Let it rest for at least 20 minutes. Then you can go ahead and slice it. As you see, we have the two dark meat roasts along with the two wing tips. Here's our breast meat right here. Looks beautiful, doesn't it? Now we're going to go ahead and slice it. Okay, so when you're slicing your breast, just gently slice it through. I like to slice at a little bit of an angle so that when I've got it all in the pan, the serving dish, I can sort of spread it out a little bit like that, and it's very attractive to see it that way. When you're slicing the thigh meat, I don't know if you can see that clearly, just do the same thing. Just slice it nice and thin. Okay, look at that. Nice and juicy and tender. That's going to be very, very flavorful. I'm Brenda from Apron Strings and Tasty Things. I've shown you how to debone a turkey. It's not that difficult. The end result is wonderful. You have a little more work at the start, but in the end, you have easy carving, no carcass to deal with, and beautiful presentation. If you like what you saw, visit my blog at foodandfact.com for more instruction and recipes. Thanks.